like to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Kapaz.
Here.
Mrs. Passy. Oh, she's absent.
You said I had to go to the...
We'll go through it. Read the names. The lawyer says.
Mrs. Passio.
Not here.
Not here.
Mr. Ranieri.
Not here.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Here.
Mr. Shapiro.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Fallow.
Not here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Mr. Basor.
Here.
And Ms. Straley.
Okay, public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. 1, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 5th, 2023. And 2, emailed to the retrospective courier post on January 5th, 2023. We're going to do a few things and then do you want to do it right away or you want to? Okay, we're going to dispense with the normal meeting. I'm going to turn it over to the chief. And you want me to come up or how do you want to go? Let's come on, we'll do our pleasantries.
Do our thing.
Well, Richie and I gotta come too.
You come.
Come on, Richie.
Where's he? All right, so as everyone knows, Jeff's been here longer than me and most of us here. Hard-working guy, but let me just read this off. From the Borough of Runnemede Police Department, Mayor and Council, honor Patrolman Jeffrey Ward, Police Department, recognition of the 20 years of dedication and outstanding service that you have provided to the residents of our community. Mayor Nick Kapaz and Chief Williams. Once again, thank you. You know, I want to thank, you know, the department I think has done a great job of recognizing, the hard work that everybody does. An officer like Jeff, who's here every day, works hard. I never hear anything about him, so that's great. He just does his job. And it's wonderful. So I think the department, he's an asset to the department. I'm very happy. Chief, I thank you again for always recognizing your men. And thank you. Ms. Kelly?
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly.
20 years. Mark Twain said one time, there's 2 days that are important in a person's life. The day he's born and the day he finds out what he's going to do with his life. And you found that day and you've served so wonderfully. You protect and serve us every day. And this is to celebrate that service. 20 years, that's a long time. It's a long time for anyone. But I especially want to congratulate you because you do your job so beautifully. I see your stats, kid. I look at them every month, and I've been looking at them for 10 years. And you really are a worker. And we appreciate that. We really do. Because you're one of the heroes that walks among us. And every chance we get to celebrate that, we do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Sampolsky, the mayor and Mrs. Kelly, first I'd like to thank mayor and council for always supporting me, for recognizing our employees. I brought that back a few years ago. I felt it was important. There's not a lot you say about Jeff other than he's an outstanding police officer, an asset. I've supervised him in my different roles in the police department, and he comes in and gives the residents and everyone an honest 12 hard working every single day. I have people coming up to me all the time saying how much that they love Jeff. He's he understands what community policing is as well as anybody. So I'm thankful he's here, and I'm thankful that I've worked with him most of his career, and he's an asset, and it's a pleasure to have him.
I'm so thankful to be serving such a wonderful community with such supportive residents. Been a great 20 years. Went from being a kid just getting out of college and 120 pounds to having gray hair now, and being older. But it's been a great 20 years. I really love working here, and I'll always be here for the residents, just the way they have been for me.
For a picture.
Come on. I'm gonna get close. I like that close thing from this
Maybe you want to get in one?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Your time?
Maybe not.
Hey, congratulations. All right, good, thank you. All right, all good. See you there. Maybe some of you guys are showing in on his stats. Maybe someday you should do that. Shh. I know. All right, all good, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, we didn't take into consideration the arms. The arms are too high.
That's what beat him up. You want to know? Okay, we're going to continue with the regular order of the meeting. We have approval of minutes. A motion is in order for the approval of the minutes of the January 31st, 2023 and February 7th meetings submitted by the clerk as each member has received copies. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by Mr. Shapiro. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Communications. We got a thank you note from Alice in our court office. She basically thanking us for the death of her sister. We sent her a note back.
Flowers for the death wishes.
Yeah. So would someone like to make a motion to accept the communication?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Lobenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, committee reports. Mr. Ranieri is not here, but we'll, Shelley, Ms. Shirley, did you want to report anything? You want to report about battling or something? Yep.
I received a financial report. It was about 100 and some pages maybe. And I guess I need, why was that 2022? Because you had to finish out that year?
All of our annual reports are for the prior year.
Okay,
We
so they were filed. Were they accepted?
Yes, we filed that on Friday, and that was accepted by the state the same day.
Is there anything as a financial committee person that I have to know about that? Is there anything I have to do in regard to that?
No, I supported all of that. Our auditors also assisted with that document and ensured that everything is accurate. So, and we just have to file it through the automated system that is required by the state. So, and they confirm when they receive it. So, and that was the email that I sent out
Yes,
Friday.
yes.
To make sure everyone was aware that it was filed on time and that they received
It
it.
was quite a report,
It is, yes. It's very.
very detailed.
Yes.
I congratulate you on that one. That was a toughie. Thank you.
It's just, that sums up everything that we did last year.
Yeah?
And it's required to be filed every year, and we can't do our annual budget until that is complete.
Oh,
So,
Yeah, all good.
that's good to know. Okay,
Okay.
thanks,
All
Shirley.
right, public safety, Ms. Kelly, you want to go right on? I just thought
I'm going
everyone,
to stand for this part.
well, let me just make it clear, if everyone noticed, we're no longer reading reports at these meetings. This way, each department head can read the reports. Did you notice that? There's no reports read by the clerk? So reports will be sent to us, and if you want to read something, it won't be double read.
Well, this is not actually my report, but I often talk about the heroes that walk among us. And on Friday evening, the Hero Scholarship Fund will be having their big event, and I encourage you to attend. We have officers in our fire department
and they are going to be honored that night. They are Captain Stan Funches, Lieutenant Justin Moriarty, Firefighter Wyatt Hartman, Firefighter Zach Mennick, Firefighter William Myers, Firefighter Joshua Hartman, Firefighter Chris Velasquez, and Patrick Leisenberg. These men were on an incident that happened in International Paper Company in Belmar. And a gentleman had his hand caught in a machine up to his elbow. And these men responded and eventually were able to free him from the machine, and he went to trauma unit in Cooper. They saved his arm. He did not lose a limb because of their excellent, diligent care. So these heroes, we thank you. We thank you. And you do a wonderful job every month, and I'm proud to report all the wonderful things that you do for our community. But I encourage you to look at the Hero Scholarship Fund on Friday evening. It might be streaming for all we know. I don't know how that goes, but if you are attending, please, it is a special event, and that's Friday evening at 6 o'clock at Lucian's. So I just wanted to talk about the heroes that walk among us every day and honor them. For my rest of my report, I will be seated. So, property maintenance. We had 29 complaints, 15 re-inspections, 26 CO inspections, and 15 re-inspections. There were no summonses issued for the court. That's good. Our Runnemede Police Department had a very busy month. And it's only 28 days in February, but they had 1,223 calls for service. That's absolutely amazing. 255 traffic summonses, 17 motor vehicle crashes, 56 arrests, and 9 hours of overtime. And thank you, Chief. That's a great report. Thank your men for me. Okay. Our EMS division had 40 incidents. We received 4 mutual aid during our time, 4 times this month during their 9-hour shift. They start at 6 in the morning and they're done at 3 in the afternoon. And they turned in $6,692.54. And they had a busy month just for the 9 hours that they're here, only 5 days a week. So the fire marshal had 74 inspections and turned over $2,053 to the clerk. Okay. Fire division report. They had 24 calls for service, and they maintained a 5.29-minute response, and they lost to the police department at the cancer weekend. So they're going to have to wash your cars, right?
Yeah.
But it was a great game, and if you're an aficionado of basketball, it was a great game, better than last year. And I really appreciated all the young fellas showing up and fighting hard. It was a tough battle, and our police did win. And now our fire department, who won last year, big, they won last year, big. Now they're gonna have to do the washing of the cars. They don't have that many, right? You don't have that many cars. Okay. And I just want to give you a little update on Barrington. They cover us at nights and weekends. And they had 185 calls for the month. 46 of them were for Runnemede, and they were here in 5 minutes 43 seconds. So that's a pretty good return. They did respond to some mutual aid also, but they take care of Haddon Heights, they take care of Barrington, and we are in the process. The mayor and I have gone and met with the other towns that are sharing this service to get a more equitable rate. So we'll keep you posted on that. I don't want to talk about it because it's still something, the negotiations are still in progress. And that's my report.
All right, thank you. All right, public events, Ms. Passio is not here. Engineering, Mr. Farrell's not here, but I do know that the engineer did submit 2 requests for the road projects. I think we should proceed with these. I did have one question. Did everybody see a copy of this?
Yeah, I have it. Why?
So what the engineer always does is gives us an outline of what the potential costs are going to, estimated costs for the project. As long as the CFO agrees that the finances are okay, I think the council should at least pass a resolution approving these 2. The question I had though is, you gave us 2 options, and I'm confused what the difference between the 2 options is on the DOT money.
Option 1, the DOT allows you to use 5% of the construction costs to be reimbursed for design services. So if you want to use the DOT grant to pay a portion of our design fees, you can do that. It just means you're going to get less road because it's all coming out of the same pot. But we give you that option.
Okay.
In years past, you didn't use that option because you were always supplementing it by doing additional work.
Yeah, I don't believe we're supplement. What's your opinion, Ms. Straley, on this? Do we want to do option? I mean, the difference is $10,000. I don't know how much more does $10,000 do on a road project. It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
Now, this is the sewer project.
No. These are 2 roads. Community Block Grant gave us money to do First Avenue and Second Avenue.
Okay.
And then the DOT gave us money for Forest Avenue, Payne Avenue, and Harding Avenue.
What did we do in the past? What did we do in the past?
Well, that's what Mr. Baser just said, that sometimes we'd always put some of our own money in, but because we're doing some of these other bigger projects, we're a little bit leaner on the road projects. I think I would lean towards just using the funding that they're giving us because of all the other stuff we're working on. So I would say that as long as Ms. Straley, we're okay with he's over budget on both a few $1,000s. I know there was some funds available from other road projects. Shelley, any idea? We could pass a resolution that says pending final financial approval,
You can do that.
you know, just to double check and see where.
Really a matter
And
of
there's no urgency.
what projects you want to use that
Well, I'm under the impression that there was some money left over. Didn't Bogies give us some money back, or did we use that all up?
We're still trying to finalize that contract, but there will be some money left over.
There's some money coming back because of the lower
We had to do it.
lower gas costs, or lower fuel costs, lower some things like that. I mean, I think a resolution is in order just to keep him moving, because without the design, we can't get anything done.
Right, you don't have to make a decision. We've already surveyed it, we're moving forward, it's just a matter of what option you want to go for that one.
Let's go with the first option, only because this way we don't have to put as much money up.
Okay.
You know, I'm hoping you can find $18,000 from Concord
Oh.
to pay for these 2. Come on, be positive. All right, we'll put a resolution at the end.
And what will that resolution
It'll
be?
be 2339. It'll be a resolution.
It'll be 40, because there's an extra one.
Oh, there's an extra one?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. All right.
And it will be just pending final financial approval. That's acceptable, right? Okay. So anything else in engineering did you want to report?
No, was there 2 options on CDBG?
I-
No, there's just one.
I mean, you've given the estimated construction cost. I'm assuming your costs are pretty fixed, but it's the construction costs could go up and down. And you just, and like I said, the difference was only about $10,000, but you're still gonna do the out alternate, your design covers everything, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right, anything else? No?
Okay. We did submit the CDBG application last week,
The rest?
so I didn't get the resolution that you passed last week to get to that. So
He just signed them tonight.
I did, I apologize. That's okay.
we are allowed to submit that after the fact, so.
Okay.
no big deal.
All right, Public Works, Mr. Lowenstein?
Not a lot going on, just the normal spring stuff. Part of it's Ritchie's, they're getting the fields ready and things like that. Unfortunately, we did have some damage down at Green Acres Park. A truck ran through the soccer field. We're looking for the people now, and we'll find them. Very unfortunate someone would do something like that. The Public Works was out last week filling the potholes. They didn't get every pothole. I got a couple of phone calls, but we'll get them eventually.
They were out today also.
Yeah, and so they're out today again too. And the rest is progress. So Public Works has been doing a good job. They're always picking up the yard waste. They're always picking up the recycles each week. And thankfully on recycle days, we haven't had too many windy days. The rest is progress.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation?
Not much, we'll rely on caucus, but not much softball's a little down on registration. I think we all know about that. Baseballs, they got about 9 teams, so it's about average between 8 and 12 every year, so they're on average right now. Basketball's ending up with the playoffs and the travel team. The younger boys win.
The one team lost first round.
All right.
The 2 other teams, second round tomorrow.
All right, so the travel team is doing pretty good. Public Works is working on the fields, especially the team.
Yeah, I saw them out there doing a big job. They had all kinds of equipment.
They'll start softball soon. The rest of the
Does anyone tell them that we got a tractor donated for them?
They know.
They don't? Okay.
They do not.
Yeah, I talked to Charlene.
Okay, good.
Okay, anything else? No, progress? Okay, Solicitor's report?
A few irons in the
Well, he didn't address the fact that at Runnemede Lake Park, we have that issue with the remote cars. I mean, I brought this up in caucus.
Okay.
And I'm
did have
very
something that was supposed to be brought up.
I don't think now's the time.
Well, there is something that has to be brought up, though, that there was a request to have an event approved for the 18th. And I know that it was contentious last month, but I think the group did, there's only 3 of you here. Is the general thought to allow them to have their event on the
No.
13th or 18th?
No.
Richie?
I went
No.
down there the next day. I had off, so I went down there. I saw the guy that was there. They cleaned up the mess, and because they cleaned it up and all, and I looked at everything. It looks good.
Have you been down there, Eleanor, to see if they cleaned it up?
No, I didn't know that they did.
They cleaned it up. They did.
So you should be patient with your opinions, but you gotta find out all the information.
Seriously, they cleaned up that whole.
Because after that meeting,
Yeah, the whole pile of
it's all
concrete.
gone.
Cleaned up.
It's all gone.
It's all gone.
Within, by last weekend, they heard about it and they cleaned it up.
Oh, they heard it then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was told to call them.
Yeah, and they cleaned it up.
So what's your opinion about the 18th?
Yes.
Okay, so, here's what I think. We're not approving their entire agenda, but here's the only thing I know. Ms. Passier's not here, I know Mr. Ranieri and Mr. Farrell's not here. But since they did show some goodwill, and I think we need to talk about this more, we can let them try, have an event on the 18th, but not approve anything else.
Well, I did talk with Matt about the 18th, and it's a cleanup.
It's a cleanup.
It doesn't say that. Just use the list of
Yeah,
dates.
no, but that's what-
Rather than have an event.
That's what they're gonna do. That's their beginning of the year, getting it cleaned up for the winter and that type of thing.
I think we should allow them to clean up.
I agree. Good faith.
If it's a cleanup, don't we want people to clean up the park?
And they cleaned up the mess that we were talking about.
They got right on
I think they
it.
realized they made a mistake. I don't think they would have cleaned it up as quickly if they knew they did make a mistake.
Well, on the condition that it looks as good as it did before they don't.
It does.
It does?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Then I'll go along with it.
Is there anything? No, we have another meeting before the next.
March 18th and April 1st is going to be the next.
All right, so we'll talk at caucus. We'll see what happens after the meeting. All right, I don't think we need to vote or anything. Just let them know the 18th is okay, and we'll have another meeting at the caucus. Okay? All right, solicitor's report, did you want to add something?
Just a couple irons in the fire that I'll be reporting to council offline between meetings.
Okay. Engineer's report?
I already spoke when we left.
Okay. All right, we'll go through the rest of the agenda. Proclamation that we have Women's History Month. You want to read it? Or want me to- This is your last hurrah, so you can read all these.
Thank you. You're so kind. Women's History Month. Whereas New Jersey women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. Whereas New Jersey women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, and social role in every sphere of the life of the nation by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside of the home. Whereas New Jersey women have played a unique role throughout the history of the nation by providing the majority of the volunteer labor force of the nation. Whereas New Jersey women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our nation. Whereas New Jersey women of every race, class, and ethnic background served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement. Whereas New Jersey women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and other movements, especially the peace movement, which create a more fair and just society for all. And whereas despite these contributions, the role of women in history has been consistently overlooked and undervalued in the literature, teaching, and study of American history. Now therefore be it resolved by Mayor and Council of the Borough of Runnemede that March is designated as Women's History Month, and the mayor is authorized and requested to issue a proclamation calling upon the people of the Borough of Runnemede to observe that month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
Very nice. Thank you. Want to do youth? Or you want to do youth? You can do youth.
Youth Art Month?
You're on.
Youth Art Month, March 2023. Whereas we all have a responsibility as individuals, neighbors, community members, and citizens of Runnemede to encourage art education to all elementary, middle, and secondary students by developing students' creative problem-solving and critical thinking abilities, teaching sensitivity to beauty, order, and other expressive qualities, giving students a deeper understanding of multicultural values and beliefs, creating a virtual space for children to view and appreciate art and culture, reinforcing and bringing to life what students learn in other subjects. Whereas the benefits of art education form the basis of world-class standards developed by the U.S. Department of Education, the National Endowment for the Arts, and the Council for Art Education. And whereas our national leaders have acknowledged the necessity of including art experiences in all students' education. And whereas the GFWC Women's Club of Runnemede encourages art education at all levels of learning. Now therefore be it resolved that support should be given to art teachers as they attempt to strengthen art education in their schools and communities. All residents of Runnemede are urged to take an interest in and give full support to quality art programs for our youth. Now therefore, I, Nick Kapadas, do hereby proclaim March 2023 in the Borough of Runnemede, New Jersey, Youth Art Month. In witness whereof you've signed it.
Very good. Yeah, very nice.
Excellent.
Very nice.
I just wanted to make a little addition to that. As part of Youth Art Month, our Art and Culture Department has made 45 kits, youth art kits. And these kits are going to be given to the children attending Cathedral Kitchen. And the kits contain all kinds of art tools, crayons, glue, felt pieces, all kinds of wonderful crafty things that they can make things with, along with designs. So 45 kits were made and donated from our arts department to Cathedral Kitchen.
Thank you. Okay, we'll continue with the agenda. We have Resolution 2334, resolution confirming the 2023 appointments. This is the resolution confirming the appointments for the Chicken Board. I think it's really the Chicken Advisory Board. You know,
Chicken Advisory
we're
Board?
going to amend that. Chicken Advisory.
Is the resolution just a chicken board?
I don't think it says chicken board, chicken advisory.
That's how it
board.
was sent to me.
Well, I apologize.
Just call us the chicken tenders.
The chicken tenders are good. That's good, huh? All right, we have Heather Farrell, Chris Farrell, Sam Singizer, Jennifer Rees, Steve Singizer. Some pronouncing that last name right?
Singizer.
Singizer, I'm sorry. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Lobenstein, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Shapiro. Eleanor, is that what you must vote yes? You heard that, right? This is a roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
And Mr. Shapiro, that's it, correct?
Yes. Thank you. So we're looking forward to you helping us out with these applications, because all Joyce really wants to do is just basically file, receive the minimal amount for the fee, file it away, and then we'll just renew them. We'll figure out that renewal process after the first round. I guess we'll,
I've given a lot out, but I've only received one back.
yeah. And did you give them the one back for them to review? Well, now you're gonna have to review the one back. Yes?
I was gonna say, I am the one.
Oh, you are the one? Okay.
Yes.
So we'll make sure that the advisory board, once they're gonna do the whole application for us.
Chicken tenders.
And then,
I'll let you know when you hit 20.
yeah, so 20 is a big number, and we'll see how this all works out. But the only thing I'm concerned about is that the continuation of it. So that once it gets going, that we continue the program, we continue the licensing. And the reason for that, if you tell people, my reasoning is, by having a license, it basically gives that person a right. And that right can be taken away, but that right is also their right. And so if a neighbor does complain, that's what this mechanism is for, to say, well, I was approved, I'm doing things properly. So that's why we do these kinds of things, just to, it's a double-edged sword. It gives people the ability to do it, but it also gives us the ability to take it away.
Mayor, suppose somebody has chickens and a person has a complaint. Do they go to the advisory board?
You can start there, yeah.
And then funnel its way up through us.
So they first go to the advisory board and
We didn't
then
like-
they come to us?
So code enforcement under the police department really shouldn't be dealing with this unless it became a civil issue in some way. But hopefully we'll never get to that point. Correct?
Correct. And then the success of the program depends on how dedicated the chicken tenders are. Their attendance and their initiative, I think, has proven that we are in extremely good hands. And I suspect that Mayor and Council will be very pleased, even you, Mrs. Kelly, at how this works out.
And some other,
From my experience elsewhere.
and some other advice I would give is the advisory board should have meetings, schedule meetings for the year, have an agenda, come up with a quorum, come up with your own bylaws, all those kinds of things that justify, because you may not all agree with something. What's that?
Scared.
I'm not saying, I'm just telling you, this is what goes wrong. And so you have to have it. You're watching us. And so plan all this out. And the reason I also bring it up is if ever there was ever somebody contesting something, we would have the board's notes. We would have the fact that you didn't meet, so that we would be able to have a decision that's made proper based on what happened in that board.
Yeah, so we are going to have some complaints come through us, so the more backup we have, the better for us. And we are going to have residents that'll say, well, I didn't know anything about chickens being allowed. Well, come to meetings, inquire like you do. So we want to make sure that we do have the backup information like that.
Joyce is going to put it on the website.
It already is.
It's on the website, and it will be on the LED board, a chicken running across the LED board, the chicken advisory, and all your names and phone numbers will be on
I
it.
think there are fewer complaints than you think, I really do. And I think there
Well,
It's going to be some.
If we get any complaints, we
Well,
want
I
to
already
have
had someone come
it. We want to have backup.
and ask, what does this mean? And I said, well, you can get chickens. What was the borough paying for it?
I'm talking about, it's one of those things that
Oh my God.
when it starts and people realize what it is and what it's not,
Yes.
you'll see a different.
And no roosters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the ordinance. And you have until December 31st to decide whether to continue it. That's in the,
So hopefully
that's in the
we'll renew.
ordinance.
And I'm sorry,
So Eleanor, get ready.
and I'm sorry Councilman Farrell's not here to support you tonight. He should be.
Yeah, you should be.
But
They know where he is.
I don't know where he is. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Resolution 23-2035 is a resolution rescinding Resolution 23-25 and adopting a new shared service agreement with Magnolia for CPWM services. This is the agreement that we have where we're sharing our public works superintendent with the Borough of Magnolia. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Lowenstein, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lowenstein.
Yes.
And Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
3 ayes, 3 ayes.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 2336 is a resolution adopting the revised Borough of Runnemede policy book and employee handbook.
This is the
Our Labor
GIF.
Council, and well, it's a combination of the GIF,
The HIF.
and our Labor Council, and Ms. Straley putting a lot of effort in this. I don't know if our solicitor saw it, but I think he's okay.
Yeah, I put effort into it. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's,
I finally got a copy of the social media. Remember when I asked for that?
so the only thing I would ask, and I'm saying in public again, to all borough employees, they will have to acknowledge receipt. They don't have to agree with it, they don't have to read it, they have to acknowledge that the borough provided it. Is that clear?
Now, how will they give this to the employee?
Well, each department head can give, well, we can start off with an email, and then the department heads can make sure that they at least agree that they have it. Now remember, contracts supersede policies typically, but the policy book helps us out with things like how we do certain processes that aren't in people's contract. Example is some of the time clock issues, so things like those kinds of things would be in our policy.
We're gonna have a new salary, new people doing salaries and,
New payroll.
yeah, new payroll. So, do we still use time clocks?
Well, they still have, some way each department has to submit their time sheets, however they submit them. So they can be submitted electronically, they can be submitted through approval from a department head. It's no different than we're doing it now. There's no difference. It's just a different company doing it for us.
They would have to let them do it.
Yeah.
So.
So instead of calling that up and saying there's a mistake, they're gonna have to take care of it. Is that clear?
Yep, we're good.
Puts a little more onus on the employee and the department heads to make sure the payroll is done properly.
Oh.
It's not fair to the finance department.
No, to have to deal with it all the time, yeah.
See that? I'm helping you out. All right, is there a motion to approve the handbook and the policy
I'll
book?
make that motion.
I'll second it. Motion by Mr. Lowenstein, second by Mr. Shapiro. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lowenstein.
Yes.
And Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
3 ayes, 3 absent.
Okay.
What was your concern? This is just a policy handbook.
I know, but there's certain training sessions that have to be done with this handbook.
Absolutely.
Are they being done? Are they being done? Because I've never had a training session.
Done.
Nobody has ever
That's
said
not
to
true.
me,
That's not true.
Eleanor, you have to have a training session for the
Eleanor,
policy handbook.
we all did the social media policy. We went online. You and I personally have gone to classes. Do you remember when we went to classes, when we used to do in-person classes? What was the one about the spam, when we had to learn how?
Oh, that was good. That was good. But that was D2. And was that part of the GIF?
Yes.
Yeah?
This is the GIF's manual.
Yeah.
So anything more detailed as far as.
So D2 was part of that training that we have to do.
Yes, anything as far as social media.
But there's a lot of people that didn't do
drug
D2.
policies, things like
There's a
that.
lot of people that
That's each
didn't do it.
department's head. Each department head is responsible for their department.
Yes.
Their department heads have to do that. Each department, the chief is responsible for the police. Harry's
Oh,
responsible.
they all did it. They all did
And
it.
they did it. Have faith. We'll keep an eye on it. Trust
I
me.
keep an eye on it. That's what I'm saying.
All right. All right, so that resolution is adopted. Resolution, see, we only have 3 of us here and it's still feisty. Resolution 2337, resolution transferring the premium from tax collector's redemption account to the general fund. I don't know what this is.
This is another foreclosure, and because there was a premium paid and it was not redeemed within 5 years, the premium, as my favorite word,
It's cheated.
as cheats to the borough. We hope, but because we've discovered in the last
They can ask for it back.
few years that they have had, some of the lien holders have had the foreclosures overturned, and then somehow miraculously, someone appears to redeem it. Once it's a redemption, then they can get their premium back. This is a $21,000 premium.
Yeah,
So I'm anticipating something happens.
Somebody,
But anyway, I want to turn it over to us.
okay.
Good.
We have to give it back, we have to.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, would someone like to
I'll
make a
make that
motion?
motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Lowenstein, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro,
Yes.
and Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
The ayes, the ayes.
That resolution is adopted. Resolution 2338 is a resolution authorizing the extension of the grant funding for the alcohol and drug abuse. Why are we doing this
Mental
one?
health component.
Oh, the mental health component?
That new one that we.
Oh, municipal alliance, okay. All right, it's just an extension. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Shapiro. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
And Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
The ayes, the ayes.
All right, we had a walk-on resolution.
Yes.
EMS payments.
Ms. Strelly can speak to that.
Strela, do you want to at least let us know that last one? For some reason I can't find it.
Here.
Oh, here it is. Credit cards.
2339.
Okay.
Yes, this is just a resolution for support to, what's been happening is the credit card companies that submit us our payments for EMS billing, they're trying to make it the default for us to have to opt out of receiving these payments with a virtual credit card, is what they call them. But right now and always, we have not had the ability to process those.
No, I know.
And the reason that we have never done that is because the fee on top of those payments is an additional approximate 3%.
What the card takes.
Correct.
Right.
And we've never wanted to have to pass that fee on to our taxpayers. And it's really not necessary. We can get electronic fund transfers for free or a paper check.
Well, why can't they do PayPal and Venmo and all that? Why can't?
It's really, even that would be necessary.
I don't know, they were paying us electronically, and then all of a sudden they decided to stop.
Electronic fund transfers are free,
Yeah.
you know,
We'll
so-
take credit
They're
cards.
trying to get miles for whatever reason.
Exactly, you know,
Yeah.
this fee is just unnecessary, and for them to make the default, to be, you know, the opt-in.
And this is a resolution going to the state.
We don't want to have to say, we don't want this.
Okay, so it's just a resolution lobbying the assembly to not pass this bill. Okay. You see what they want this bill passed, municipalities, we don't want this passed. We don't want to incur the 3% fee. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Lobenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There you go.
You don't need a roll call for this?
It's not mine.
Yeah, it's not binding, it's not money.
It's not binding.
Just,
Yeah.
we encourage you not to do this.
Okay, then we're going to have resolution 2340, which is, we're just going to do one resolution for, no,
I will separate.
I will separate
If you
it.
don't mind.
All right, no
We
problem.
have to send the one to DOT to let them know
And
we're choosing
The other
option
one to the.
So why don't we do CDBG first, because that's what I think you wrote. So basically, 2340 is the supporting the, approving written authorization, giving the engineer authority to move forward with design and construction drawings, subject to final financial and legal approval. Would someone like to make a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Lobenstein. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
And Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
All right, that resolution is adopted. Resolution 2341 will be the DOT application. This was Payne Avenue. The other one, I apologize, was First Avenue and Second. This one is Forest, Payne, and Harding. This would be approval for option one. This is written authorization for the engineer to proceed pending financial and legal approval. Would someone like to make a motion on that?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Lobenstein, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
And Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
Mayor, could you give me those letters so that I have something to base the resolution on?
Yeah, and just write the numbers down. 31 was, or CDBG was 40, and then DOT was 41. Okay, we ready for the payment of bills? Would someone like to make a motion to pay the monthly bills?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
And Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
All right, the bills shall be paid. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Hello, sir.
Zach Funches, Siobhan Funches from Borough High Street.
Yes.
I just want to bring up to attention, I had conversations with Chief Sinkolsky, Captain Burns. On February 7th, I had a tree snap from the front of my house. Practically destroyed my car, $8,000 worth of damage. Didn't even make a second payment on it. My wife's car, we didn't even make the first payment. She has $3,400 in damages. If it would have came off of the roof, it would have went clearly through my house. I contacted Chief, I had a police department come out, take a police report on there. Running Board was able to get me the drawings of the street, the easements, where my property line technically starts to where your property line starts. So I literally measured my measuring tape from where my property is, where the easement starts on my property, all the way across the street to where the tree.
So you think the tree's on your property?
The tree's on your
On
property.
our property.
The tree, I went across with a 35-foot measuring tape, and I got to,
Is it accessible from the road or is it behind your house?
no, it's in the middle. So you got South Jersey Contracting, I live on High Street. So
No,
part of my house faces South Jersey
South Jersey
Contracting.
Contracting, gotcha.
South Jersey Contracting has already said that that's not their property. I do have power lines, PSNG power lines. I know they have a small easement with their power lines. However, this tree is clearly probably about 10 feet from their power line, their pole. It is literally 35 feet.
So the whole tree didn't come down, only part of the tree come down, but it's big enough
I have
to...
pictures to show you.
All right, I mean, I'll go over with them, I mean, what,
She's been down there.
does the answer, do we have an answer for him at this point? Is there an answer, is it our responsibility?
So,
Yeah, what do we know?
here's what I'll say. Without knowing the condition of the tree, I have to preface everything I say by that before. The law in the state of New Jersey is that where the root of the tree is whose property it is.
So the trunk.
However, right, with respect to who is responsible when a tree falls over, there's two scenarios. Number one, if it is a decaying or dead tree and the owner of the property knew or should have known it, I have no idea what your condition was, so I'm not making any comment or judgment on that whatsoever. If it's a decaying or dead tree and the owner of the property knew or should have known that the tree was at risk of falling, it is on the owner of the tree based on where the tree trunk is. However, if there is no indication that the tree is dead, rotting, or in any danger of falling, it is the responsibility of the owner where it falls.
I tell you, Mr.
Yep,
Long,
yeah.
my neighbor, before we moved in there 3.5 years ago, has told us that he made numerous complaints.
Yeah.
He has sent numerous emails.
That would be a factor.
I told, he was a captain at the time when I first moved up there.
Yep.
There's this issue. I have to be.
So the tree's on our property, it fell on yours.
There's a ton of trees up there. So my thing is, if I've had my guys coming up to me, the code enforcement be coming out there telling me,
Yeah.
that's against.
Sure.
Did your insurance take care of everything
So
though?
yes, so my.
But the only thing you're looking for us is
I
to
got-
take the rest of the tree down.
Take the tree down, and I'm submitting a bill for my deductible. I got $750 deductible for 2 cars. So that's,
And not only that, there's a couple of dead trees. So I'm in fear, especially on windy days, that the tree's gonna come down on my house. It woke me up out of my.
Do any of the branches hang over onto your property?
No.
Okay.
And look, the notice part matters. It matters big time, especially with dead trees.
I'm putting you on notice now, there are other trees.
Please do, that would be fantastic. That's
And my
great
children
because it's
play
okay.
on that street. I don't want anyone else getting hurt. It hit our home, not just our cars, but it shook my house.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So here's what we do. If you submit everything to us, we'll put it to our insurance, we'll see what records we have, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the only thing we'll say about is it a wooded area or is just a, you said it's easy.
You want to see them.
I can't right now in the middle of the meeting.
It's the
but-
street that's next to where our show goes down.
Yeah, I mean, I know it, I apologize, I don't drive back there much, so,
you might want to drive back.
you know. But there's a process that we go through, we'll go through the process and see. I mean, we've had situations in the past where the borough takes responsibility for certain things, but there are also times that the borough does not take responsibility, so we have to look at it.
If you don't take responsibility, then we don't have have to go to the next level.
Okay.
I hate to
So
do
that will-
that. I hate to do that, but we're gonna have to.
Do what you have to do, but I think that ends any conversation. with
I didn't know anything about it until just now, so.
Well,
That's-
I'm sorry to say this, Bill, but that's something that has to be, that has to be forwarded on. This is my job, if I don't let my bosses know, and people come to them about things.
Well, let me defend everybody. I can't know everything. I can't.
There. You've been put on notice, I'm just telling you that now.
Thank
You've
you.
been put on notice.
I have to depend on my department.
Just, that's it.
Oh, is there anyone else wishing to speak?
Not to defend nobody.
Oh, we have to do the Rotary. I did forget. Well, was the public portion, anybody else wishing to speak in the public portion? There's other people? No one? See no one else? Does someone want to make a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Longstein, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Public portion is closed. We do have one more issue that was brought to our attention. We received a letter today from the Rotary Club. I'm not going to read the whole letter, but the Rotary Club, basically, it says that they would like to donate painting, prep work and painting of the field house. They've noticed that it needs work to be done. They want to donate their time. And the only thing they're asking from us is that if we do allow them to do it under our conditions, through the Public Works Department.
Did you know about that?
No, we just got the letter.
We just got the letter, Alan. We got it here.
And so they want to paint it based on our requirements. The only thing they're asking for is to put a sign up that says,
Painted by the Rotary
or something like that, yeah. Rotary,
It's fine. Yeah.
we're requesting and to add RBG Rotary to the sign on the field house. That's what they're asking. Does anybody have any objections to this?
No,
No?
Rich?
that's a big field house.
Do we need a resolution or anything, or it's okay?
Well, are we gonna know what it's gonna look like when they work on
They're gonna just
it?
repaint it green,
Oh,
and,
It's a sign, right?
Eleanor,
we already have a sign up.
I'll take care of it. Well, Rich and I will take care of
Okay.
it. We got it.
So, okay to proceed. Yeah, I mean, it is subject to, it's our building, so they can't just show up. They'll have to coordinate with the Public Works Department and anybody else to make sure it gets done properly. Okay. Other than that, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Lovenstein, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Shapiro. All in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn at 7:54.